nice shot of where it is exactly. So you'll see, this is the border right here. So Italy's on this side, Italy's over here, and this is Lugano. Our friend kind of lives up here in this area, kind of overlooks. Yeah, and here's Como, down here, in Lake Como. So there's, again, plenty to see, plenty to hike there. We'll talk about restaurants, what a lot of the, they call Ticino folks, Ticinese. What they will do is travel over to the Italian side, both here and down here, Ponte Ceresio and Ponte Tresa. So they do a lot of shopping there, and there are a lot of great restaurants there. Equally as well in Lugano, but it's like twice the price. So a lot of the folks that live there will, on Friday night, Saturday night, travel up here, and some beautiful, beautiful scenes. So this is the view actually this is from Monte Bre, which we talked about. This is the view from our friend's place, looking down. That's Merole and a friend of ours down at Lake Lugano. You can also take boat tours, which they have restaurants on the boats. You can, all times of the day and night, that go across the border into Italy as well. I want to just show another, and you can look this up online. This site is very informative. Bring that up here a second. Bring this back over. So here, it's just an idea on this site. It's our tourist site, LuganoRegion.com. Great ideas, places to visit, places to go, where to rent a bike, mountain bike trails, road cycling, which is great. And again, our son was on a bike team here in this area, and we learned a heck of a lot. Got to see a lot of those places. The hikes go from easy, medium to hard, all different times of year. Of course, we've been there in summer, spring, and in autumn. So, like France, you can hit it wrong around October, November, and you get a lot of rain. But this is just an idea of some of the places there.
So the best weather in Switzerland is in Ticino, because it's south of the Alps. So a lot of people who live in other parts of Switzerland go there for vacation in the summer if they want to stay in the country. Because it can be pretty cold still in the German section.
So Chennai, that's another small town right on the border with Switzerland and Italy. So again, this site has all this, accommodation ideas, excursion tours, there's the boat, lake tours, art and architecture, food and wine, so. So here's the hotel that we visited. Our friend knows the owners, the Smith family, and it's right off the lake. It's right here. It's lakeside. Yeah. Right. So it's probably done now, but it's an old classic European style hotel, very nice, centrally located, and if you're looking for a nice place to stay, I'd check that place, check that out. Okay, so this is one of our favorite ones, Il Ritrovo restaurant, and it's in Porlezza, Italy. Again, right across the border, we talked about earlier. This is a coffee roastery and coffee house, and they roast Chico d'Oro, which is only sold there in Ticino, Italy. That's our friend Danilo right here. This is us again at Ritrovo, which is right on the lake, and excellent food. Okay, so here's where it is in relation to Lugano's down here. You cross the border, and you go up. There's Porlezza. Here's where the little lake. So again, a lot of neat little places to eat, to stay, to hang out here, even on this side. But a lot of the nooks and crannies that we talked about earlier that offer great food. I want to mention grottos, that are basically means cave. So actually this concept originated in Bordeaux, and now it's in Ticino, but they offer certain plates like polenta, which is cornmeal. But they also offer meat, pasta dishes, but it's kind of like a fixed menu, and it's the atmosphere, being out in the countryside. A lot of them are in caves. Some of them are restaurants like this, right here. Okay, so a little tie back to our area here. So again, in relation to, we'll talk a little bit about Lake Garda. So here is Lugano, and you can take the autostrada down here,
Right, take the train.
or the train down to Milan, and you can also take a train to one of these towns here, beautiful little towns, Descenzano, Garda, and Peschiera, beautiful towns on the lake. Brescia is also medieval town. Bergamo's another nice place, and you could do these in a day trip. But here is where one of the last big battles of 10th Mountain Division occurred, right here. And, you know, they started all the resorts here. And Vale was designed after a European town because the architect was part of the 10th Mountain Division. Of course, Pete Seibert, he was a soldier and started, was part of the group that started the Vale Resort. So here, I did a little research, found this, and this is actually an article in the Summit Daily, the Forgotten Battle. And this is the 10th Mountain Division with their duck boat. This is where they used the duck boat on Lake Garda. So, you know, again, they started most of the original ski areas: Vale, Aspen, Sugar Bush, Whiteface Mountain, and a few others. But this is a very interesting story and an excellent article. So if you search Explore Summit, it was May 5th, 2020, and it was 75 years later, and they kind of recount the step-by-step of what occurred there in Lake Garda. So this is Lake Garda. Looking up here, they were actually on this side chasing the Germans up this side of the coastline. And they reached the northernmost point, and you'll see, here, that's actually where Mussolini was on the other side. That's where he stayed. There was, back here, So at the northernmost point, there's tunnels. So they were, the Germans were actually blowing up the tunnels, and they were trying to clear them. So finally, they reached a point up north where they had to bring duck boats in. And to get around this, they got into the water and went around these, the debris, and then finally defeated the Germans at the northern end of it. So, incredible feat. Folks that I worked with there also recounted the history of how while they were escaping, they were dumping all kinds of munitions, trucks, tanks into the lake. There was one duck boat during that battle that sunk, and I think about 30 soldiers died. And it is, I don't have the name of Chris, I can't remember his name, but anyway, Malingard. It's going to be a special, film special, and they were going to highlight this film at Keystone in January, but because COVID came, they canceled it. I don't know if they're going to put it back on. So his film talks about what occurred here, and it was an incredible story. So he also talks about how a private company funded a submarine, a mini submarine, to go down to try and find the duck boat. They found the duck boat, but no soldiers were in it. So he's supposed to talk about that in his film, upcoming film. Okay, so Como, Italy is, again, just south. This is what the center of Como looks like. This is May, I think 2 years ago. And every
I think
May,
it's May
yeah, every May they have
2018.
these classic car enthusiasts meet at Villa d'Este, that's here. And yeah, and that's the grounds. It's on the banks of Lake Como, and all kinds of beautiful classic cars, and some are even from California and New York. We were talking to a couple of folks that were from the States, and they come to participate in this. At this particular one, this was the James Bond movie. This car was in the James Bond movie. You can see the filming equipment on top. The world is not enough. So 1999. So anyway, it was, again, another beautiful place, great food, a lot to see, and just happened to hit that right to see the classic car show. And then further south is Milan. Again, these are all, you can take a train, certainly rent a car to go to Como, car into Milan. I'd probably take a train and see it. You can see, this is the Duomo, the cathedral. The Galleria is here. That dates back to 1800s, I guess. Beautiful glass work in there. And one of the most famous murals there is the Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci.
It's not there though.
Yeah, it's not here, but it's close by. And it's in the refectory of the Basilica di San Maria delle Grazie, which is not too far from here. So you can see most of the architecture and churches, at least the main ones, here in the morning. And again, great food, and just another stop depending on your itinerary. These are espresso coffee makers at the place there, the coffee making place. Anyway, that's our friend Sylvia. That's our friend Sylvia.
Bialetti. They sell them here.
Bialetti, thank you.
But those are the ones they call the mocha pots, putting it on the stove.
Anyway, all different sizes and shape. These green ones are in honor of the Italian mountain troops called the Alpini. So that's the Alpini hat. I thought that was kind of neat. Okay, so That's our story. Hopefully I put you to sleep.
Oh, great.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
How far is
any
Lugano from Milan?
Driving,
Well,
if you don't hit any traffic, it's like an hour and 10 minutes maybe.
Train is less, yeah.
It-
It's
I
an
mean, you
easy
could take a
ride.
train. The traffic, unfortunately, the traffic is terrible from Milan into Lugano. Because a lot of people live in Italy and work in Switzerland. So
Oh.
there's this big line of cars in the morning,
Oh,
and then a big line of cars going back
yeah.
in the evening. Because the pay is better in Switzerland, but it's cheaper to live in Italy. So,
What do you like better, using the train or driving?
well, I would say now it's probably better to use the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when we lived there, we had a car and we used to drive everywhere. But the traffic is definitely way worse than it was when we lived there.
I was watching some Rick Steve videos on packing, and, he wants us to pack, a small little suitcase. How do you do a trip like this with a little pen and a suitcase? Is
You
that-
gotta
Oh, yeah.
You ever watch Steve's? You ever
Yeah,
watch
Rick
Steve's?
Steves.
Rick
Yeah, Rick
Steves.
Steves.
He covers that well.
everything.
I mean, we basically carried on our stuff for
Really?
this
We just
trip.
take a small roll bag.
So that's all you do?
But-
And then
but-
we'll just so maybe wash a couple things.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
just bring stuff that dries
Do
you
you-
fast.
Do you find laundromats, or do you wash them in your hotel
Uh,
rooms?
Well, here we're friends. We stay with our friends, so
Okay.
yes.
No, we don't have to.
Yeah,
I know,
right,
I know.
right.
But we've done trips where we'll just take stuff that you can rinse out
Right.
and it just dries quickly.
Yeah.
Just bring, and I don't bring a lot of clothes. If I know I'm gonna have maybe 4 dinners, I'll bring 2 outfits and wear them twice each. I just don't bring a lot of clothes. It's different when you live somewhere and you can
Right.
change your outfit all the
Right,
time,
right.
but when you're traveling, you just make do. It's so they see you wear the same outfit. I don't worry about it.
Most of the time, you'll never see these people again.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we see people traveling, they'll have suitcases, 2 big suitcases, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
not me.
It's good to bring stuff that matches together, so so you wear
Yeah,
pants
yeah.
with shirt and then with the skirt.
Right,
and
right,
then
that's
with-
what I do, I'll bring something that will go with lots
There
of
you go.
things.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you
match
switch it
because
around.
on the pictures you want to kind of look a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I've,
yeah, I mean, when we lived there, it was really easy because, you have a base, you work, you live there, so if you go someplace, it's not like you're changing time zones or
Right.
anything like that, it just makes it a lot easier.